As part of Browning's X-Bolt 2 rifle launch at the wonderful Gordon Castle on the River Spey, we're going red hind and roe doe stalking. Having had success on the reds at the Tulkin estate, we're now on the castle's own low grounds with rifle shooter and sporting gun editor Paul Austin behind the rifle. So the reason to come to Scotland is of course the red stag, but in many areas there are more roe than red, and so we're out doing what I kind of think of as south of England stalking in Scotland and looking for roe does. Our favourite Portuguese outfitter with a funny accent, Sergio Couto, is guiding us. When he's not arranging driven hunting in the sun, he's a roe specialist at home in Scotland. He thinks the X-Bolt 2 package is particularly good for youngsters and people starting their stalking career.
I like the idea, from my background selling rifles and being a gun trade, the idea that someone can buy a rifle and tweak it to his own personal stature and it will be their rifle. Other thing I really like, and I will speak with the boys, is the accessibility for young shooters to have a package out of the box. So all you have to do is rings and scope, which is brilliant for someone that's starting, and I think is affordable, and they get a decent rifle, a lot of adjustability. So that's good.
The first opportunity is a bit far for this time in the morning, and he's sure we'll see more. We cover a couple of miles. It's easy terrain. As we come to the end of the permission, Sergio spots a couple of roebucks. They're next to a commercial forestry block. The younger buck keeps going and the older of the two presents the shot. As there's a zero-tolerance deer policy in the plantation, and in Scotland there is no season on male deer at all, Paul is allowed to take it. It looks like a decent strike, but the animal jumps into the thick stuff. There's blood at the point of impact, and more inside the block. Then the trail goes cold. Sergio decides to call Mrs. Couto to bring his deer hound from home. That will take an hour. Just time to show off my snake.
So you're gonna show off your big snake, aren't you?
I am going to show you my super snake, indeed. That's a very rude way of putting it. Show off my big snake. That's not right at all. I'm going to show off my super snake, which is okay. I'm going to use this rifle as a fishing rod, which will establish it is absolutely open and clear. Here we go. So I'm going to lift the line off the water and back and forward and then down onto the water again.
Okay.
And we're on the River Spey, and that is a spey cast, so couldn't be better.
But it's also known as a super snake.
It is known. That's known as there's a snake, there's a super snake, there's a whole lot of spey casts. Some of them, I must say, are gimmicky, definitely gimmicky. And on this bank, where there's not very much cover behind us, in fact, the biggest trouble here is there's a power line going overhead. But on this bank, where there's not very much cover behind, you don't really need to spey cast quite as much as you. On that bank over there, you can see where the trees come right down to the water. There's just nowhere to put the line behind you. So the point about a spey cast is to get the line doing all its stuff in front of you and then putting it out again.
I didn't know that.
The River Spey is the finest river in Scotland to fish. It carries lots of flow. The more modern, you could say, would be the snake roll.
David Bewley, one of Gordon Castle's gillies, shows me the ropes, trying to iron out some bad habits.
Did you overhead cast for trout before salmon fishing?
Yes.
I can tell.
Yes.
Okay, that was very much an overhead cast. So the biggest difference that we have with an overhead and a single spey is rotation. So we like to use circular movement. If when you lift from this position and you come in a straight line back behind you, the way the anchor lands and the presentation is a little bit harder to control. So when we begin with a lift, we then create from this point, it's more than a semicircle actually, as we come round in a circular motion as we climb. With the overhead cast, it's very easy to using the elbows and arms to come straight back, twist your body straight forward. But we're going to twist our body as we come back, enabling us to create a nice circular sweep into an elevated pause. Much better.
Unfortunately, my moves don't impress the fish, and no one's fooled by my stuffed salmon. Might be all we can fish for in the future if we're not careful. Back to that roebuck, and here is Sergio, the deerhound. We retrace our steps, just in case I get a chance. When we round the corner, the younger buck of the pair we'd seen earlier is lying in the field.
We're going to walk round the edge and try to get within 100 metres of it. We also need a little bit of elevation for it, so if it works, it'll be perfect.
When it stands, we're not happy with the shot. There's no dirt behind the animal, nothing to stop a bullet safely.
There's just the possibility of something behind it, so come on, have a go.
Time to concentrate on finding that first buck. Sergio lets Sergio do his stuff. Incredibly, the deerhound finds our buck just yards, if not inches, from where all of us had been searching.
You found it? I'm not joking.
You're kidding.
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
And you know this, I was there earlier
Yeah,
and smelled me gut.
yeah.
Wasn't there?
We must be blind.
Just in there.
I must have scanned this.
Where's it,
20
Dejo?
times.
Where's it, Dejo?
Have you got, how often do we walk past that spot?
We've been
That's
here
not
for
possible.
about 40 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
up and down. And
I mean,
around.
within...
The thing is,
wi-
even there
Where's it,
you were
Dejo?
like, this is where a trail ends.
yeah,
Yes. And I spin, and I was hanging that. You see me hanging on that
Yeah,
tree
you
for a
saw
long
that.
time.
It's
yeah.
gotta be
I
here
says, I
somewhere.
couldn't understand where he smelled me.
We're half
Smelled me
an
the
hour
gut.
on the other side of that
Says,
cave.
"Could
There's
we
no
just
blood.
smell that, or should we?" And I went to the other side and the other side. Look where he. The beauty of a dog.
Well done,
Yeah.
dog. Come.
Good
Yes,
boy.
Yeah, good
Good
boy. Brilliant.
We're talking 20 yards.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. Well done.
Good boy. Good boy.
Absolutely nailed it. That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
It's 10 feet away now, and I still can't see it.
No, extraordinary.
Recovering the buck is a good finale to what has been a fantastic couple of days, indulging in some quality Scottish hospitality and sport. For more information about hunting opportunities with Sergio, go to sircoutwildharvest.com, and to find out more about the flexible Browning X-Bolt 2 rifle, head to browning.eu.
Perfect.
I think that'd do.
Absolutely.
That would probably do.